Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Today, I want to talk about the kill streaks in Call of Duty World War II. Seeing as this was just the beta, we didn't get access to the, I'll say, highest tiers of kill streaks, but we got a good little taste of what we think we are going to get, and it needs some improvement. So here is my feedback of what I believe needs to be changed about the kill streaks. Starting off with the Molotov cocktail, I honestly thought this was one of the best kill streaks. It was easy, it was simple, and yet it was skill-based. I never died to a Molotov thinking, oh, that was just random and unfair. No, it was always fair. It was always kind of like, you were playing domination. They threw it on a flag. It really wasn't that big of a deal. Now, after the first weekend beta was done and over with, Sledgehammer came out and they said that they were going to reduce the Molotov cocktails to 1. Which doesn't make any sense to me. I think a better balancing factor would be give me 2, but if I pull it out, I have to use the 2, because what I would do is I would pull out 1, throw 1, and then put the other one away. Now, I actually kind of like that, but some people didn't. So I think a good in-between is just, hey, if you pull it out, you got to use the 2, even though I honestly felt nothing wrong with the Molotov cocktail. The blast radius was good, the fire effect was good, it helped you, it was like a very powerful grenade, and it was easy and simple to get. It was rewarding and strictly, I liked it, it was good. Moving on to the recon aircraft, this was the UAV. Now, this is a little controversial, and I do want to do a whole video dedicated to the UAV, but I am of the mindset that the UAV is probably one of the most powerful kill streaks in Call of Duty and needs to be balanced accordingly. A lot of people rely on that UAV to chase those red dots in order to be successful in some sort of way. Call of Duty is all about positioning and awareness, and the fact that there was little to no UAV spam and domination was a humongous positive, because as soon as we increase that level, that score cap to 100 for each kill and domination, UAV is going to be more prominent, and that ghost perk is going to be just everybody's crutch. I know my crutch, because if someone knows where I'm at, I'm probably going to die, because they're going to be able to see me and anticipate my movement and all that sort of stuff. It takes away all of the rushing, it takes away all of your surprise, all of your stealth, and it's a really powerful kill streak. So I would like to see it at a really upper tier, maybe like 6 kills, 5 kills, somewhere around there. I want it to be, you have to earn that UAV. I want to avoid the UAV spam as much as possible, because I don't want to run the stealth perk all the time. I don't think that's good for variety, and I don't think that's what they're going for here. Moving on to the care package. I've never been a fan of the care package ever since Call of Duty Ghosts vastly improved the care package system, but the care package didn't feel overpowered or underpowered. You ran it, you got a random kill. It just worked like a care package works. Next, the fighter pilot. The fighter pilot is where we start getting into the kill streaks that should do something but actually don't. This was a decent kill streak in an idea, and it's really fun to use, but there's 2 things wrong with it. 1, it's too short. 2, it doesn't do enough damage. So very first thing, if we're not going to do anything else, we need to improve the splash damage or improve the damage that it does to players. I've gotten 2, 3, 4 hit markers on a group of people and not gotten a kill. It's very, very bad. So you need to increase that damage for sure. Next thing, what we could do 2 things here. 1, I kind of want these guys to go on a second pass, like strafe them in one time, one direction, turn around, strafe them in the other direction. I think that would be cool. I think that would increase the kills you get, and it would increase the amount of lethality of this kill streak, because if somebody calls us in on the enemy team, I'm not going to cover. It doesn't change the way I play, and that really shouldn't be the case. You should have to take cover and find cover when these kill streaks come in. Or what we could do is, instead of having it pass over twice, just have it slow down a little bit, because you're supposed to aim it and then you have a little, like, I don't know, 5-second window to shoot. If we increase that to 7, even 10 seconds to shoot, that would be a little bit more rewarding and a little bit more consistent, because it is a mid-tier kill streak. I want 2 or 3 good kills out of this, maybe 4 if you're really good with it and the teammates are out in the open. The Glide Bomb, this is the Predator missile. I found this one to be fairly decent. Obviously, I got a 3-piece in it if you saw my review video, but one little tweak that I might want to see is an ability to kind of mark something to make it go faster. You know, with the Predator missile, you kind of search, look for something, then you would choose your target, you would press the trigger, and then it would shoot in. Now, I know we can't like activate a rocket on the Glide Bomb, but what we could do, we might have like a little marker on the ground, and then as soon as we're selected the marker, we can hit the trigger, and then the Glide Bomb could just go faster. Maybe, I'm not sure, but the speed isn't terrible right now. I just kind of feel like it could be a little bit better, but overall it's a pretty decent streak and I'm happy with it. Next up, the Artillery Strike, which I enjoyed and I didn't enjoy. It always got me at least 2 kills, but I feel like for how big the area is, it doesn't do a lot. And when you're in that area, the Artillery Strike doesn't really do much. I remember being hit with this on a live stream and I was just kind of confused. I was like, what's happening right now? Like it was a kill streak, but it wasn't really overwhelming. It was just kind of there. So what I would do is I would increase the aggressiveness of the artillery strikes. I would make it sort of like, well, this is very comparable to an orbital strike from, if you've played Battlefront, that would be a really good kill streak in my opinion. Just how fast those come in, how quickly those come in. We could even reduce the time, the overall time it lasts for, if we made it more aggressive. This is like the lightning strike from Black Ops 2. This is like that sort of orbital strike, like I said. So it's really, if you place that circle on your map, it should be everything within that radius needs to die. And maybe you could have a marker, some sort of signal, some sort of warning that, hey, you have an artillery strike on your position, get out of there, sort of thing, in order to balance it. But it really needs to be more aggressive. Before I forget, I need to talk about the flamethrower, because that is actually a kill streak we have available to us in the beta, and that is going to be in the war game mode. And this is another one like the Molotov cocktail that I found to be very good. Now it depends on where they place this flamethrower. I think it's going to be kind of low mid-tier-ish. I'm expecting around the glide bomb and UAV, somewhere around there, which I think would be a nice place for it. And something else that I also liked is that you get to use this to the fullest extent. You can pull it out, use it, kind of put it away, save it for later. In my opinion, I think that adds a strategy to it, which is why I enjoyed it with the Molotov cocktail, because you can kind of space them out and be smart with it. I really enjoyed that. And if you died with it, then maybe that's the balancing factor. Maybe if you die with the flamethrower, maybe if you die with the Molotov, then you lose the rest of it. But if you put it away, that's when you can save it. That would be a cool balancing factor. But I felt that the range was a little bit low on the flamethrower. Now I know it's going to be overpowered if we give it incredible range, but I felt like it could go just a tiny bit, maybe 2 or 3 meters more, then it would be a little bit better, a little bit more viable and fun, because I think it would be really nice, especially with how kind of limited you are, and that's another limiting factor we could put on it, how much fuel you have and all that sort of stuff. But I feel like if they left it here, it would be fine, but I would like it to be just the tiniest bit stronger. And finally, the highest, the biggest, the baddest kill streak in the beta, the paratroopers. These things are a joke. I'm pretty sure these things are like recruit or regular bots, and they suck. They've gotten me, I've called them in probably 5 or 6 times, and they've only got me 5 kills. Now that's the biggest kill streak in the beta, and that's not good. And this whole idea of this kill streak is not good. One of the worst things about Call of Duty Ghosts was the support squad mate, because he had so much health and he killed you. And it's really, really difficult in a multiplayer game to do bots correctly. Bots are unfair. They're not skilled. They are random. They just don't fit well. They don't suit well in a player versus player game mode. If these guys were like juggernauts and they came in with a bunch of health and all they did was play the objective, that would be alright. That would be a fun kill streak. But it's not that. They're in there just to get kills, just to get map control and to control an area, and that's going to be bad to die to, because if you make it useful for the player calling it in, that means they're going to get a lot of kills, and the players playing against them, well, it means that it's not going to be very fun, because, oh, it's just aimbot, oh, it's just the computer beating me. That's not fun, that's not strategic. But on the very same note, if you make them too weak to where the enemies can kill them pretty easily, then it's not useful for the player calling calling them in, and why even run the kill streak? You see the perpetual downside to putting bots in a multiplayer game. I don't like this kill streak at all. I appreciate the variety of it. I think it's a really interesting idea because you call in backup, you call in paratroopers. I think it's a cool idea, but as far as mechanically, I don't think this is ever going to work out. But I do want it to be useful, so I do want them to be at least like hardened bots. I think that would be a good balance, so they're not completely no-scoping, hip-firing you perfect accuracy, but I feel like if they were useful, or maybe if we called in maybe a little bit more than just 3, I don't know, this is going to be a very difficult one to balance. And that's my thoughts on the kill streaks in World War II. Overall, I like the idea of them. I do feel they are pretty boring, but I also feel that if they were a little bit more powerful, they could be a little bit more fun and rewarding. And it looks like they all seem like if they were a little bit more powerful, they could be very balanced, in my opinion. I feel like there's plenty of cover to take cover from the artillery strikes and the fighter pilots and all that sort of stuff. My only worry is the UAV, because I'm a big worrier of the UAV because that minimap is so powerful. But and I also would like it if the kills with the score streaks would be as much as regular kills, so like 50 score or 100 score like it's going to be in Domination. But that's a whole different video for a whole different day. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next absolutely beautiful Call of Duty morning, I'll catch up with you guys later. And as always, stay beautiful.